Hey everybody, Allie Craig here. And on this week's episode of, Making of the Show, let's chat about week 2. Now, the interesting thing about this season with Fix My Brand, Allie Craig, is that we're not doing brand reveal. We're getting really into the heart, the mindset of these entrepreneurs. And so the whole first part of the season is really about getting to know their story, getting to know their struggle, and really seeing the relatability and the humanity of it all. But that's not exactly, of course, how the show actually is created. We already know these brands on some level, and we have to get to work super quickly because of our tight time frame. Everyone asks, well, couldn't you do a brand in 24 hours? I could do a brand in 24 hours. The brands could not do their brands in 24 hours. And that's because you need time to really evolve your mindset to go with where you're going. And honestly, the funny thing is that months later, like 6 and 8 months after the show stopped airing, we continue to support the brands. And the brands have come to me and they say, I finally see what you were talking about all those months ago. And now I'm ready to do what was the original game plan. And I'm like, well, that's awesome. But we're 6 to 8 months later than where we really should be. But it takes that time to actually, have your internal mindset and your internal subconscious mind meet you where I'm really trying to push your brand to. So there's always that kind of catch-up phase. But in week 2, what we always discuss is, neurohuman branding. Because after we get to know you, we got to get into the science and psychology of what makes you and your audience tick really quickly. And of course, with neurohuman branding, if you don't know what it is, neurohuman branding is about using the science and psychology of what makes us, human, to our brand relationship advantage. So that means making sure that we're using the innate biological aspects of the human mind, subconscious mind, sociologically, societal stories, all of that to your brand relationships advantage, which, as you well know, is a equally winning one. It isn't a one-sided relationship here. And so it's interesting, and always the pushback on this week is the fact that this isn't about statistics. This isn't about, what's my niche? Can I just ridiculously define my niche into 3 simple words that is super concise and in turn super profitable? Because neurohuman branding has nothing to do with your niche. It has nothing to do with statistics. And here's why. When it comes to your niche, guess what? People naturally find the people they like. It's human nature. And so I'm never concerned about finding that perfect niche. And I'm more concerned about finding people which my brands like to work with. And then from there, let your audience course select if you're the right fit for them. Then, when you look at statistics, that's just simply old information. And there's no other way to put that, because statistics is exactly that, old information. And with today's society evolving at a 4 to 6 month rate, the old information is ridiculously old by the time we launch and actually have a product or a website or an offer to bring to market. And therefore, it's never that appealing to our audience. It's okay. It's like lukewarm water. It's fine. But either don't you really want a hot bath or don't you want a cold pool, but you don't really want the piss warm. And statistics give you the piss warm, basically, when it comes to your brand. So neurohuman branding gives you the ability to choose, what are you really going for? Am I building a pool or am I building a hot tub? Either way, it is a choice. And that's where the power comes into. Far too often as brands, we feel like we have no power, that we just have to do it this way, that we have to be stuck with this or that or whatever it is. You never have to do any of it. It's always a choice. And as long as we own the power of our choices, we're actually able to keep moving forward and, more importantly, keep making progress. So that's a little bit of the behind the scenes skinny on week number 2 here at Fix My Brand with Allie Craig, season 2.